let's go from there. So we showed you this, guys. Showed you this wedge escape from Mark a few weeks ago. So I get constant hands in the mat. I make this frame, I get perpendicular, and remember when I wedged my hips out this way, Carl posted this leg, okay, and I used my frame, okay, to lift up, and then from here we showed you how to get the single leg X guard, and then we were showing you control, from here. So I'm going to do a back escape. Even though that's technically not the master cycle, but we're going to use the same concepts. Once you learn concepts, not just individual techniques, you can use those concepts to escape different positions. So, cards on my back. He's got harness control. Again, this is just the basic scrape off escape. It's going to be easier if I fall to the underhook side, but dealing with this, see where Carl's head's on my shoulder, I want to get my head replacing his head, which makes the escape easier. So the first thing I'll be looking to do is I'll latch my right arm into the crook of his arm, and if I can, I'll make a little bit of space to keep my shoulder. Okay, so it comes inside. This frees up my head so that when I fall to the weaker side, which is the underhook side, I can bring my head underneath Carl. Does that make sense? Okay, then I'm going to push off his hook. Okay, I put both my feet on the mat and I bridge, which puts all the weight on my shoulders. Okay, and in reality, I can turn into Carl, back and close guard. Just close guard. If I take it again. He's got harness control. I get my grips, like a chin up grip. If I get it into the crook of his arm, pull this down and get my shoulder inside. From there, that leaves space, so when I fall to the underhook, my head on the cards. When I push the hook off, the detail is, guys, I'm bridging to put the weight, okay, on my shoulders, because if I don't and I'm lying flat, Carl can pull me back. Pull me back into the choke position. Once the weight is on my shoulders, pull me back in that card, it's going to be very, very hard. But from here, jiu-jitsu is so much about anticipation. That's why better players, higher grades, are one move ahead. I can anticipate that from here, because Carl's lost the back position, he wants to mount, which would be the smart thing to do. Okay? And if I can anticipate that, I can have a counter, which is our wedge escape. So again, harness control, I make the space, put my head inside, I use my hook to push it off. Okay, and when I bridge and Carl tries to mount, I make my frame, and I can come underneath, and I can get into my single leg extra. So it's the same concepts. Let's just say from here, Carl has a super tight harness, and I can't, and he's maybe this elbow pulled back, which means it's going to be very hard for me to get into the crook of the arm. Okay? And which means there's less space for me to create, to get my head weaved around. So from here, my right hand's going to pull at the wrist, okay? And when I fall to the weak side, I'll use my head and push his head back. So I get my head to the inside. Does that make sense? So I push the hook off, okay? And as I bridge into Carl, I make my wedge, my knee comes inside, and I'm into my single leg X guard. So just add in the sweep from there. So from here, okay, when I keep everything tight, if I drive Carl backwards, he's going to post with his hand on the mat. So when I get to here, I just cup his wrist. Okay? So when I drive back and push him off, I'm doing that rocking chair setup that we did in the warm-up, which was that. Okay, so we want to get good at that concept, because I want to be controlling Carl's legs as I come up. Okay? So if I have to use my hands to come up, I can't control his legs. But if I can control his legs, I keep his feet off the mat. Because when I sweep Carl, if Carl can put his foot on the mat, he can scoot his butt back and move. He's got mobility. But when I take him down and I control his legs, try to move back now, it's going to be very difficult. And from here, for me to get up, I have to be good coming up to here. And then I can hit my pass and just stay like that. So again, one more time. First method, harness control. His elbow's not controlling my shoulders, it should be, so I get my right hand inside, get my shoulder inside, so when I fall, I get my head underneath his. Kick off the hook, detail is I bridge and make a frame, just like my wedge. So when I move my hips out, my right knee's coming underneath, my left foot's coming in the single leg X guard. Okay? And from here, I need this hand. That's what I want. Now in reality, Carl might want to hide that, and I mightn't get it, so we'll show you what to do in the next one. But I can also bring him, see my hook, I can bring Carl towards me so I can snag it. And then from here, I push him off, variation. This time it's tighter. I can't get my shoulders, so my hand goes under the wrist. I use my head to push to get my head. Use the hook, kick it off. A bridge, using that wedge concept from underneath to my single leg X guard. Second wrist, kick him off, rocking your sit up. So when I come up, the way my hands are controlling his legs. Then I'm up, ability, start to work. Okay, let's go for that.